Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV for the Starting 11 show. It's Arsenal versus PSV. It's our 4th Europa League group stage game, but we've not faced PSV yet. We've got them today and we've got them next week, and it's a big one because they've been on fire. Put 10 past Zurich over 2 legs. A draw against Bodo Glimt, but we know they're a good side, and one player in particular, Cody Gakpo, will be keeping an eye on tonight. But if Arsenal win, they can all but cement top spot, it looks like. We've got Julian, Robbie and Lee to discuss it all, well, firstly, start to predict what we think we might see tonight. We're going to compare the 2 11s that we put forward in the Predict 11 show, Robbie. And then we're going to have a little look at sort of what we can expect from Arsenal. But first, how are we all doing? How are you doing, Julian?
Yeah, very good.
Should we clap you in, yeah? Round of applause for Julian now? Why not?
Mine Bedford didn't clap him in, did he?
No, is that a little... I saw you met him out in Leeds.
Yeah, we did, yeah. We had a good trip to Leeds, didn't we?
Well, did he not say hi to Julian?
No, he said hello and then told me to shut up.
Oh, well. Well, at least someone did.
Yeah.
We've got Lee in the building.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. Thank you.
And we've got Robbie back from Valencia.
Hey.
We'll just quickly tell everyone what you were doing out in Valencia as well.
Yeah, it was a YouTube Creator Summit, and like they had some of the biggest YouTubers in the world there, and yeah, it was just 3 days of absolute jolly up. Number one, it was brilliant, but also like they had little workshops on how to improve what you do. So it was really good, really good, and it was thanks to YouTube. I was really honoured to be there. It was brilliant, but I've got to say, and I did not know this until I got back because I came straight from the airport, it's your birthday today. All right. So happy birthday out to you.
No, we don't. Thank you, though.
Now,
no cake, though.
No cake. Listen, if we'd have known it was your birthday, we could have tried to rustle something up, you know what I mean? But we didn't know.
It's all good. I don't really...
When we get back, get cake for later.
If you buy me a cake later, that would be great. Okay. Thanks, Julian.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I bought a cake, but I give it to Ty to give to you.
Yeah. Oh, stop. Not sure.
Ultimately, he never made it.
Did you manage to catch the Spurs game out there yesterday?
I didn't watch the game, but I was funny enough. I was
fantastic.
When I was having like we was having like a meal. There was like a load of us, right? And the guy I was sat next to was a Man United fan, so he was keeping an eye on it. He goes 1-0. I was going, yeah. First time I'm cheering for Man United.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I was like, yeah, go on.
The only game.
I cheer Man United twice a season.
Yeah, and then he goes, Bruno scored 2-0. I was like, yeah, done. Game's over. But I couldn't believe it when I saw like the stats around the game. They got absolutely peppered, didn't they?
Hammered.
Yeah.
And some of these Tottenham fans who were having a go at Arsenal. Oh, you lot got peppered against Leeds. You were lucky. Hold on, listen. Yeah, I mean, and look. So I think that's a great win for Arsenal, by the way.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because you think about it, there's still 4 points behind us. We've got a game in hand, but our game in hand is against City.
Yeah.
So to still have Chelsea drew as well. So it was a good night.
It was a good night.
It was a good night.
Brentford supposed to be an easy game, they said.
Well,
They played no one yet.
No, it was a good night last night. Of course, we would have been playing Manchester City last night. It was actually originally scheduled for tonight. Then they brought it forward to last night. And then, of course, everything that happened is now PSV that we've got.
I'm gutted as well.
Yeah, I really wanted to play. I really wanted to play them.
See where we're at.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it might have been, I was saying it might have been a good time to play them because they lost at the weekend, but then that might have been a bad thing because might have got them angry. You know what I mean? But listen, I think, remember last year when they come to the Emirates, it was a very close game that turned on, sending off. So
sending off and a penalty.
Yeah, so...
I thought we were the better team that day.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah,
That's one of our best performances of the year.
Yeah, but listen, it is what it is. We got this, so... I know I sent you that 11. I've kind of changed my mind since.
Should we have a little look at what the 11s were, guys? Because we've got them here on the tactical pad. We discussed it on the show. So Robbie, let's remind ourselves of Robbie's team on the left. Turner in goal. We went with White, Holding, Gabriel, Tomiyasu. I know you've changed your mind, so we'll make the changes. Vieira, Lokonga, Xhaka, Marquinhos, Nketiah, Nelson. I on the right went for Turner in goal. Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel, Tierney. I agreed with you on midfield of Vieira, Lokonga, Xhaka, and then I've gone for Jesus, Nketiah, Martinelli up top. I just think they're a good side.
Yeah,
What are you changing? Let's make the changes.
I'm changing. I'm not changing anything apart from the three up front.
Okay.
So I'd still keep Nketiah, but then I'd probably go Martinelli and Saka.
That's strong.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking that I want us to get the job done tonight.
Yeah.
Right, because when I was looking at it, if we win tonight, we're virtually, you know, what I mean, we are there really. We're not there, but we'd only need one more point from the last 2 games.
Yeah.
And we got Zurich at home in our last game. We were the kind of the whipping boys of the group. So, if we win tonight, I reckon we're almost certain to finish top of the group. So, that's why I'd go. And then I was considering it as well. You know, we think about resting players because of the game of the week. But Southampton also had a game during the week. Yeah. They've had a game last night. So do we really need to rest players? Because
away trip for them, wasn't it? No, well, no.
But they weren't far. Obviously, it's just down the road at Bournemouth, but they've still had a game. They still so. It's not like Leeds last week where they've been able to sit down all week and wait for us and be super fresh. That would have took a bit out of them last night. Just like our game tonight is going to take. So it's levelled up the playing field for me. So I would go with a strong. I would go with a strong side. Let's get this job done because the last thing we want is that we have one of them playoff games against a potential Barcelona, Juventus, Atletico Madrid in February.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want that.
Let's remind ourselves of the group. Arsenal with 3 games played of 9 points because we won all 3. PSV 2 wins and a draw leave them on 7 points. Obviously these two are playing that game in hand tonight. Bodo Glimt Zurich, Bodo Glimt on 4 points, Zurich on 0. So it's not looking good for Zurich. But PSV and Arsenal sort of look like they're fighting up for top spot. If we get the win tonight, we're on 12 points and that opens a 5-point gap on PSV. Kind of makes what happens next week not irrelevant, but far more relaxing.
It could be irrelevant. If we win tonight, we are going to beat Zurich, so it will be irrelevant next week.
Well,
if we win tonight, that's why we absolutely have to go strong tonight and make sure that we get it done and we get it done early. If we're sort of 2-3-0 up after an hour, we can afford to then start making changes.
Yeah, and as I said, when I started to look at it, you know, Southampton played. You know, I'm just going back to that. Southampton have played as well, so. It's 2 teams that have played during the week, so you know, and I'm sure they didn't rest players last night.
I'm going strong. I'm playing. Arsenal should play their strongest team tonight.
Would you like to know the team?
Is it out
already? It's out already.
Wow.
Okay, let's go.
Well, can't we have a guess?
Yeah, could do.
Go on, have a guess.
I'm going to say Turner in goal.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Yeah, well, it might not be if you're going to go strong. I think Tommy Asser at right back, Kieran Tierney at left back, Saliba and
Gabriel,
yeah. My back 4.
Let me tell you what you got from there. Turner's correct. Tommy Asu correct. Holding is in. Gabriel Tierney correct.
Ooh, 1 wrong.
Oh, that was the back 4 that I said, wasn't it?
I think that.
No, I didn't. I don't think I had Tierney.
And I was 1 away. I said Saliba would play. So, okay. Do you know what? We'll go and we'll see how many we've got right. Sambi Xhaka Vieira.
That's what I went with.
Yeah, I said that.
And then Saka, Nketiah.
And Jesus.
So I would say Jesus.
It was Jesus.
Wow, that is strong.
Martinelli wasn't well, was he?
Yeah, Martinelli worked well. And then I was thinking that he might play Nelson because he played in the Dutch League last year and he will know PSV.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had a lot of game time either. He didn't look that great in the last game, so he needs more. That's quite a strong team.
It is strong. And who's on the bench for Arsenal?
I'm not sure. I'm currently just circling the players that we've got right. Should we take it to the tactical pad and have a little look at what we all got? So I was 2 players out with Martinelli and Saliba, so Saka, but then it's Jesus playing on anyway. You got Tomiyasu as well, sorry, Robbie. So we were both 2 players out. All right, close.
Yeah, I knew Holding would start. I mean, I have no problem with Holding starting this game.
Yeah.
No, I ain't got no, same with Vieira really, but like, you want to keep us clean sheet today if you can. Holding has done well with the last couple of games, to be fair.
Yeah. And he did well at the end of last season, apart from the Spurs game. Yeah. For 20 odd minutes before he gets sent off. He's been stable. He's been a stable guy to come in and do a job.
Well, remember that header he scored in was that not the last game, the game before that, wasn't it? So tonight, I can see why he's gone really strong. We got to win this tonight. If we win this tonight, we're more or less
virtually through.
We're there.
Look, if we win this one, we can go to the last 2 games and make changes. Because if we lose next week, as long as we beat Zurich, I think if we win tonight and we draw next week, we're already through. That means that last game against Zurich, you could kids. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I'm happy with that team. That's a good team.
What do we think of Gabi Jesus coming back into the 11? Of course, missed the trip to Bodo Glimt. There was injury fear. Started against Leeds. Against Leeds. Didn't quite look himself. But is this an opportunity to maybe play him into form a little bit? Is Arteta thinking, he's been brilliant all season, had an injury, had an off game, now we can maybe get some momentum into him ahead of Sunday?
Listen, for me, Jesus has been playing really well, but there is one question mark over him, and that's his finishing. It's not ruthless enough. Had an open goal on Sunday, I didn't realise it was that easy.
Remember I said, when we had a show on Monday, and we were arguing about Leeds and how, and I said, as far as I'm concerned, in that game, Leeds didn't have. I think there was one chance, Sinister, and even that was a long-range hit. It wasn't it was a half chance, really, but it didn't really have any clear-cut chances. But as I said to James on Monday, we did. Jesus, he should have buried that.
It was about 3 yards out.
Yeah, that was an easy chance.
Yeah,
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it. It's like I didn't see a lot in Leeds.
No, we couldn't see a lot. Apart from you moaning all the time about it. It ain't the greatest of view at Ellen Road, is it?
No.
If I'll be honest,
it was all right. Lower tier, upper tier.
Yeah, lower tier was all right.
There's an issue with that upper tier part of that stadium, and a lot of it is inside. That is an accident waiting to happen. Remember when we came in? Honestly, do you remember when we came in?
3 hours going home.
Do you remember when we came in the stadium?
Yeah.
It was just a throwback to the 80s. It really was.
You say you love the 80s?
Yeah. I did love the 80s, but I didn't.
Well, what are you right at home?
But I didn't like getting crushed and stuff like that. It was very uncomfortable coming in.
I'll try and have a look for the Arsenal bench, and I can't find it. You've done moaning.
Let me see.
Can we say something about these games? Do you know we had our McDonald's nick, didn't we? Like, can you believe that?
You had a McDonald's nick.
That's because you had one job to do. All you had to do was watch a board. And when our number come up, go get it.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you're too busy taking selfies, weren't you?
Well, it's done. So anyway, we've gotten up there. Some fella had waited by the thing, chucked in the receipt, and took all of our two bags of. I've never seen it before. Have you? But the good thing about it is we had hot Sprite because they made it all again, didn't they? And we had about 10 afters, thanks to Julian.
Well, we had to have conversation
again.
Back to the football.
You
managed to find the bench?
I can't find.
No one can find the bench.
What happens is the 11 gets uploaded onto like UEFA websites and UEFA platforms. Arsenal announce it on the hour, so like the hour before.
Yeah, I don't see the official.
We'll wait a little bit.
So is that actually
I want to see the PSV team as well?
Is that one of these sort of Twitter rumour things?
No, I think that's the official team. Yeah,
it does come out a bit earlier on this one, doesn't it?
We talked about Jesus. So do we think Saka will be on the right, Jesus left, and Nketiah up top? I mean, he has played. Yeah. He has done Nketiah left, Jesus up front before.
I think Jesus should be down the middle and Eddie on the left.
No, I can see. No, I think Eddie would go down the middle.
No, I think with Jesus will be down the middle.
I think
Jesus got to be down the middle, man.
When Jesus came on against Bodo Glimt at home, it was him on the left, Eddie up front, but Eddie started the game up top. So I don't know.
He might just mix it up.
Just mix it up.
I mean, that's what big teams do.
They start to get the pattern of them. Then that's the great thing. They're interchangeable.
Yeah, listen. I'm happy with that team. I'm looking forward to seeing. The likes of Vieira get some minutes again. Lokonga. I know Lokonga. He's become a little bit of a scapegoat, hasn't he? When he's not playing, it feels like he's got to be faultless for people to kind of remember that there's a good player there. I thought he actually did quite well in that first half away at Bodo Glimt. Second half, it sort of deteriorated, not only for him but the whole team. But yeah, it's an opportunity for him as well as some other players to try and play themselves into form as we sort of hit another sort of big patch of Premier League games.
I don't know why people are scapegoating him. He's been all right.
He has been all right, but
listen, he's not Thomas Partey.
That's the big issue with him. He's not Thomas Partey.
He's not Thomas Partey, but he's been all right. He's not let the team down. We know at the United game he was fairly solid, and then there was I think he's made a little error that led to one of the goals, but. In the Europa League, for instance, he's not let the team down.
No, I don't think
he's just not world class at the moment.
A couple of things have gone against him, if I'll be honest. He's never had a real senior partner next to him. When he has done, like Granit Xhaka or something, he's done okay. And then you can't really judge him on that goal. I didn't think he played that well last week, if I'll be honest. But none of them did. It was a really difficult place to go and play. And you're asking a young kid of 21, 22, who I can sense with some of the interviews and everything now, he's getting slightly frustrated that he's not doing as well as what he can, or progressing as much as he should. But I think like today I will judge him a little bit more than what I did certainly last week, because he's got a real good quality players around him. You know what I mean? I think last year at Nottingham Forest, he was playing with Charlie Patino in midfield. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, you know what I mean? He's a kid himself. Yeah. You know, so and what happened in that game against Nottingham Forest? Everybody give Charlie Patino a pass, and rightly so, and heaped it on him, who basically was left in no man's land. So look, there is a player there. Definitely there is a player there. But this is the games where he has to now step up and start going. Do you know what? I can dominate midfield. He's still on a learning process. Neat and tidy, isn't he?
Neat and tidy. He's not.
He doesn't go out of the comfort zone. He's going to have to start doing that.
Yep, agree with that.
I was just looking at this funny tweet from a guy called Rav Chendo. He says, since Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko signed for Arsenal in July, we've seen 4 chancellors, 3 home secretaries, 2 prime ministers and 2 monarchs, and the season was only 3 months old.
I'll tell you what,
that's unreal, isn't it?
I know.
Have you ever known anything like Prime Minister? That's got to be the
apparently, Sam Allardyce was England manager longer.
Really?
Yeah, I know. We got a really nice message here from DD Sports. Says, happy 60th birthday to Claude for yesterday.
I saw that.
Everyone absolutely echoes here. Hayley says that Gakpo is 100% going to score. Let's talk about Cody Gakpo, because it wouldn't be a show with me, Lee, would it, if I didn't bring you some stats?
Oh, thank you very much.
I know you were sort of sitting there thinking, we're 17 minutes in, where are the stats? Here they are for you. 22-23 season, Cody Gakpo in 18 games has 24 goals and assists, broken into 13 goals and the 11 assists in all competitions. He has managed all his goals for PSV, 47 of them coming on the left wing. That's in 153 PSV games. 6 as a striker, 1 as attacking midfielders and a right winger. Why am I bringing this up? Because we're going to get a closer look at him.
This season? He's done
no. That's 150. So all his goals for PSV, 153
I mean the previous
games.
one.
But that's this season.
This season,
13 goals and 11 assists.
And is this just in the? Is this just the Dutch league?
That's or is this
games? Is this
Champions League as well? Cup, that's the league. That's Europa League.
Okay, because did they play in the Champions League last year?
I have no idea.
They knocked out by Rangers,
because he scored a load of goals last year.
Yeah, if this is just the Dutch league, it's impressive, but you've got to remember it's just the Dutch league, and the Dutch league is just not the Premier League.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's it is. It's significant and it's impressive, but I'll hold judgment in the same way as you'll hold judgment to Lukonga tonight. I'll hold judgment of Gakpo till I see him play a decent team, which he will be tonight. And we'll see what he's about.
He's a player that was linked with Manchester United, Arsenal. We know. I mean, how many transfer dailies did you do on him?
I know. He was heavily linked with us.
I'm sure it's surprising.
I think he was linked with us heavily early in the window, and then you saw after a few weeks that they weren't going to go for him, and now they're looking for crazy money for him. But with those sort of stats, you can see why. I mean, for a wide player, you know. Dutch league or no Dutch league, that's impressive, man. That's what I'm asking. Is that this season?
Those numbers
13 goals in 18 games is very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, 13 goals, 11 assists in 18. I think
he's a Dutch. I mean, it could be some of those he might have scored for Holland as well.
I believe they're all for PSV.
Yeah, okay. Europa League. Some of those would have been in the Europa League as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's very quick. He's about 6'2", 3". He's a big guy.
He's a big guy.
So he's going to be a handful tonight. That's hence why, Tomiyasu's in. You know what I mean? Because this guy's going to be a handful tonight. He's a good player.
I'm excited to see him. I know he was pretty productive last season as well, although I didn't have a good look at his numbers for last year. But he's also said he models this game off Thierry Henry. He said most wingers aren't as tall as me, so Thierry Henry was someone who always used to peel off to the left, and he would sort of mould his game off him. And to be fair, who isn't inspired by Thierry Henry? He's playing at the Emirates Stadium now, and having been linked with, as I mentioned, Arsenal, Man United. You then got, I think, Leeds, Southampton. So a lot of Premier League clubs having a look at him. The move didn't happen. Maybe someone we might explore in January, but this is the profile of player, with all due respect to PSV, because they're only, I think, a point or two off Ajax and they're having a good season themselves. They'll be wanting to keep their best players, but if the links, were to pop up again, this is the kind of player he can play up front, he can play across the front three. We've seen the interchange between the front three recently. He's the age profile that fits what Arteta's trying to do. And also I think he gives us something else, a 6'2" presence up top. Not that he's exactly a target man, you don't have to be really tall to be a target man, but he's clearly got something different that Arsenal could benefit from.
It's going to be interesting to see him tonight. I've got the subs.
You've got the subs.
I've got the subs, right. So the subs are Ramsdale, Hine, White, Thomas Partey, Odegaard, Martinelli is on the bench. Good. Saliba, Cedric, Nelson, Marquinhos, Serjan and Edwards. So that is a strong that's a strong bench. There's a lot in reserve there as well. So he's going for it. Mikel Arteta, he's going, and I'll read the team again for in case they missed when you said it earlier. It's Turner in goal, Tomiyasu, Holding, Gabriel, Tierney, Lokonga, Xhaka, Saka, Vieira, Jesus and Nketiah. It's a good team.
It is a good team. HFN says, plus Gakpo is the PSV captain, apparently. I didn't know that. He says, so he fits the character profile we recruit. That's true. We do tend to get a lot of young players who've worn the armband and, had some leadership responsibilities. So we'll definitely keep an eye on him. Anyone else in that Arsenal 11 that you think we need to be paying attention to? We did the shows on Monday night about Gabriel. I think we all agree he's having a good season, yet there's been a few mistakes in there. Another opportunity for him to get a little bit more football under his belt, maybe iron some of that out, playing alongside Holding. So, interesting there. Tierney as well. Can he play himself into the team for Sunday, Julian?
Yeah, he's still a quality player. He was taken out the team last week against Liverpool for a very specific reason, which worked out. I don't think him being taken out of the team was any poor reflection on the fact that he's playing badly. I just think we have a really in-depth squad and we can bring players in for certain jobs, and that's what happened that week. Yeah. And he would be even more determined to get back in. You can never doubt this guy's commitment and his abilities. Yeah. So, he's coming back.
Didn't play on Sunday, though, in that game either, I remember. He didn't start against Leeds either.
No, and
he probably should have in hindsight.
Yeah, in hindsight, he should have.
I think so. I think we lacked something going forward.
But I see him tonight, and when he plays for Arsenal, I don't see that he lets us down.
You don't let us down, but I do think it's, for him to get a regular spot back, right? Because remember, he's probably, I expected him to start tonight, but when the weekend comes back around now, Ben White will come back in at right back. Will he go Tomiyasu again, or Tierney? So he's which is a good thing.
Yeah.
At the moment, but he's battling for his place. It's not like he doesn't know.
But we've created a situation where pretty much all of them, other than maybe 3 or 4, are battling for their places.
Well, that's what we need.
Yeah, that's what we need, and that's what we got.
For going back to going forward for Sunday's game and all that, I think that we have more possession, and so I think that we either Zinchenko or Tierney should play on the left-hand side, because I felt that on Sunday, every time Tomiyasu was looking to get the ball cut inside, he couldn't let the ball go across his body, so we could get that ball out quicker.
His distribution wasn't good enough, was it?
No, because he had to have that touch and everything like that. And I feel that if we're going to have more of the ball, we're going to need a balanced left back there. I think against Liverpool it was a 50-50 in possession. I think it was a fantastic move, and I think everybody. Listen, we got away with it on Sunday. I think that Tierney. I think Arteta's actually said that Zinchenko will be available on the weekend, won't he?
Well, he's not with the squad tonight,
but if I was Tierney, and come Sunday, Zinchenko's playing. I'm doing a Ronaldo. I'm doing a Ronaldo. I'm walking up.
That's not his
mentality. That's not his mentality.
No, but I'll be in the office and going, right, what's going on here? Because I accept it. I've been left out for a left back, and now I'm being left out for a player just coming back.
Welcome to being involved in a massive club.
Yeah.
How many games has Calvin Phillips played for Man City?
Yep.
And they look how much money they pay for him. Look at Grealish last season. He was hardly getting a start. So when you're a big club, when you're at a club that's now starting to push for things with a good squad, you've got no given right. Even Ronaldo yesterday, you've got no given right just because your name's Ronaldo. So what?
No, I agree, but
you've got no given.
He's got to do to put a performance in today, a good performance in today, and which he did in the last game over here. You know what I mean? Against Bodo, he played really well in that game, but he needs to put in a good performance here. Then
he did actually.
He doesn't let us down anyway.
No, that pushes it. Then it's right.
Yeah, it's great, right, that we're having these arguments now, because last year we were like, you know, what if he's out? Then what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then we had Tavares.
Guys, January 2021, when we brought in Odegaard and Matt Ryan, I remember on deadline day we were screaming for a left back as well, just for cover for Tierney, because of how important he was. We now got 3 to pick from, one of them being Tierney, and there's a debate, it's not my side of things, but there's a debate that he's the third behind Tomiyasu and Zinchenko, and that's the level of depth we've now got. You've got Cedric, Tomiyasu, White, who can all play right back. You've got White, Saliba, Gabriel, now Holding, who can all play centre back. So this is a problem that we've not been particularly used to.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
No,
that's how we want it to
be. Any manager, good or bad, is something they've got to consider.
Yeah.
You know, they've got to manage people being happy. And
it's a problem maybe for the individual players, but for us fans and the manager, it's an opportunity.
Well, we also need that in other areas. Like we've got it at the back. Certainly haven't got it in midfield, and certainly ain't got it up front. That sort of competition for places. So while we've got it in the defence,
we have got that. We've got some of it in certain areas.
Yeah.
Right. So even in midfield, you've got Fabio Vieira there.
Yep.
You can come
in.
We
push Odegaard.
We don't really. If Partey's out, the level, because, you know, I don't think Sammy Lokonga's really a sort of holding player anyway. But you've got, in midfield, there are players you can bring in, and good players. You know what I mean? You've got
Fabio. Xhaka gets injured, who's coming in there?
But then you could put somebody like an Odegaard in that position. You could play Sambi Lokonga in that position.
Yeah, I watched Odegaard play it last week, and
you could put Sambi Lokonga. But there are players, and remember, not every player who comes in is exactly the same as the.
Doesn't have to be exact match, does
it? We've got fantastic depth of in the defence. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got a problem if one comes in. If, say, for instance, Ben White don't come in, Tomiyasu comes in, there's no dip, there's no drop. I believe there's a drop-off in midfield and there's a drop-off up front. We've got to get that eventually. But you build from the back going forward. So, you know, I expect to be, come January and in the summer, additions in midfield and up front.
I'm not sure that's the case. If you look back at some of the best teams in history, it's like, I mean, I'm thinking about the Invincibles. You had Vieira. If Vieira wasn't playing, you wouldn't have a player of Vieira's level coming in to replace him, just the way it is.
Yeah, but
if you have world-class players, you're not going to have world-class players on the bench.
Henry was out, there was no... you had players that could come in.
You're talking world-class players.
Exactly, but that's what Partey is.
Hold on.
Partey is a world-class player.
Partey is not a world-class player. He's not in the level. He's nowhere near
I think the way he plays,
Vieira.
he's world-class. The issues he's had is injury.
When he's not injured, I'm sorry.
When he's not injured, I think he's world class.
You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're not going to replace the cherry on it. But look at the players that in depth in that Invincibles that you had that could come into midfield. You had Edu. You had even Parler come in and done a fantastic job.
Parler didn't come in. He was a starter.
Front.
He was a starter, Parler.
What, in the Invincibles?
He was a starter.
No, he
was in the first 11.
No, he wasn't.
You have a look at him.
Parler. He's got a seat from Anfield '89, so you know I wouldn't be.
He wasn't like that.
He was. If you look at the, someone might want to Google the amount of appearances Parler made.
He played a lot of appearances.
So someone Google that, please.
Yeah.
As a starter, he wasn't a starter in the Invincibles
Parler, unless my memory is.
In the Invincibles season, he wasn't.
Invincibles, for me, Parler was playing more regularly than anyone else. It'd be interesting to see what the appearances are. Season. That's what I think. This is memory. I've not looked at
it. How many appearances?
We need a fact check.
How many appearances did Ray Parler make in the Invincible season?
I would say he played a lot of appearances. He come on the bench and whatever.
Actually
how many starts? How many games did he start in the Invincible season?
People are saying it was Freddie. He was a starter, says CJ Holly. Rapuda Man says he wasn't. He had 7 games, says Oxman. Okay, we're going to find out very soon.
We'll find out.
While we're getting the answers.
But he was important. I don't care what anybody says. He was still
an important
part of that squad.
Yeah, he was.
And that's what we haven't got. You know, if anything has happened to Thomas Partey long time, we haven't got. I remember, you know, like Vieira is someone to take over. I remember going to those games. Bergkamp were the major starter in those games. You know what I mean? All the time. But you know.
But he's making a good point, Julian. That you know. Sometimes you've got players, you can't have an even. A lot of us as fans, we think, we need to have an even.
No, you ain't going to get an even.
That one's out, the next one comes in, there's 0 drop.
You ain't going to get that.
He's making a good point. If Vieira was out,
you've got to have players. You've got to have, like, I'm a big fan of Granit Xhaka. He's not world class. No. We haven't got no one to replace him. If he goes out of this team, there's a massive drop off, and that's not because he's world class. That's how it is, you know.
Shall we just have a look at the PSV team?
I want to know how many appearances Ray Parler
We're getting there. We're getting there.
They're coming. They're working on it.
Benitez is in goal for them. Well, I believe that's.
Is he? He's done well since getting back from Newcastle.
Guys, I'm really sorry for my pronunciation on these, but we've got Mwene, Ramayo, Obispo, Max, Sangare. We all know about Sangare. What a good midfielder he looks. A player that, when you're talking about adding depth and someone who could cover it, he looks really good. So I'm interested to see him tonight. Gutierrez, Veerman, Xavi. Now, is that Xavi Simons, the one who I think was at PSG? I can't remember anyway. He's there. Till and Gakpo. On the bench, a couple names I recognise. Is that Bakayoko, former Chelsea player? No? Sure. I don't know. There's El Ghazi, former Villa. Madueke, young right winger as well. He's exciting. So they got some options to bring on. They got De Jong as well.
And as you've got that top on, you know who the manager is.
Yeah, is he going to get a good reception?
Yeah, well, that's the reason I've got this top on. It's my favourite moment in this top, apart from the fact we won the league in it. But my second favourite moment was Mr. Keown.
Where does it rank of all the tops you've got? The other night you had your favourite one.
Yeah, I had my favourite one. 89 was my favourite one. Yeah. If this one's still...
I had that top, I don't know what.
It's probably, from a memory perspective, then it's my second favourite.
Who's the first player you think of when you see that shirt? What player do you see?
Probably is Keown because of the...
Keown, isn't it? Yeah, Keown, man. That moment when he's shouting in Ben Nistelrooy's face.
Yeah,
Keown.
Keown.
All right, we got the...
He made 16 starts in the Premier League, 9 sub-appearances.
That's not bad.
16 Premier League starts. Actually,
16, but 16 starts. So you said he was a regular.
Yeah, 22
16 starts. That means he started half the games. That's not a regular.
Less than half.
Well, then,
that's less than half the game started.
He didn't go to.
That's not a regular. That's not a regular start.
It was more than what I thought, to be honest.
It's less than what I thought. More than what.
Do you know why though? Because he could play in different positions. He was a very, very good utility player, right? He could play wide, right, midfield, come in and do a job. He was very, very important. And you always need. That's what I'm saying. Never slag off a squad player because they are very, very important parts. If you have a look at successful teams,
it's true.
A good squad player that comes in and does
like
a
Rob
job.
Holding.
Yeah, because you always have an average of 3 injuries, I think. If you look throughout the season, there's always 3 players through either suspension or injury that are going to be out. So that's, a quarter of the team, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well.
Bilal says, wanted to ask AFTV's opinion on Rafa Benitez comments. For me, reassured Arteta isn't afraid of big names as claimed by Aubameyang, unfortunately. I don't think we'll delve into all that too much, but I think Rafa Benitez basically said that he'd heard some behind-the-scenes stuff. Well, I saw some quotes going around, but I didn't actually... Did you see the official quotes, where they came from?
I saw something on it, but, listen, you've got to say in Arteta, he's not scared to deal with big. When you see what happened with Ronaldo yesterday, I mean... That's now a big issue for Man United, you know what I mean? And for Ten Hag, how is he going to deal with that?
Yeah.
I can't believe that's one. I mean, at least the one with Aubameyang and Arteta was played out behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, what he did yesterday, I can't believe that. That's shocking.
There's only one winner in that argument. Ronaldo's not going to win that argument. Ronaldo would win that argument if he was 25. He'd win it hands all day long, but he's not going to win it.
I think he's going to win it because he wants to go in January.
He wants to go. That's why he's
that's why he's done it.
Yeah,
it's probably deliberate attempt. He wants out.
Bad that he walks off.
It was. He was making a statement,
Shocking.
and what his statement was that he's more important than the team. And as soon as you get that attitude in a player, it's time to go. It doesn't matter who the player is. It doesn't matter whether you're 25 or 37.
He had a game finishing to walk straight off.
He had a game.
Remember they had a game. Another couple of minutes. That's all he needed to wait.
Remember they had
another couple of minutes.
They had the other game where he left at half time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pre-season
and I think, listen, we've all been to Old Trafford, the way that tunnel is.
It's a long walk.
It's not even like, you know what he's doing, it's not even like...
So you can't discreetly go around the corner.
He discreetly went down the heart and then you could turn around and say, well, I went toilet or something, or whatever, right? But he's deliberately timed it, so he's got that long walk down there with the facial expressions and that, knowing what he's doing. It's shocking. But when Arteta had these type of issues at Arsenal, he dealt with them. You've got to say, he's not scared of the big, the take decisions on the big. I don't even know why.
But we're a young team anyway. Pochettino had a young team at Tottenham. One of the reasons that he was successful was because he didn't have to deal with big time players. Same with Arteta. I don't look at it as a bad thing or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's maybe even harder to look after young players that have got that excitement and mischievous or whatever. But I'll tell you what, if you have a look at it, why don't you look at the plus of it all? They're all young kids that are very, very impressionable. All toeing the line, all doing a good job.
Yep.
So why don't we look at the positive instead of the negative? And for me, that's a positive.
Have you guys, just before we run off, have you seen all the rumours linking Edu with a couple other jobs? Apparently he's been,
I'm on the case.
Yeah. But it's a reflection of how successful he's been.
Yeah.
Anyone in any walk of life that's going to be successful, it opens opportunities for you.
100%. And look at the players that he's pulled in, like Martinelli from nowhere. Marquinhos looks a very, very good prospect.
Fabio Vieira
and Jesus.
Fabio Vieira, he's pulled in Jesus as well. So when you're pulling in players like
without no Champions League football,
without no champion, that's a fantastic point. And
good fees for those players
good
as well.
Fees. No, not going overboard on it and all that. Of course, clubs are going to look at that when they're thinking, "My God, we just spent 60 million on the positive."
It's a positive that other clubs are starting to look at our players, managers, things like that. Because they never used to look at us over the last 5-6 years. You know what I mean?
Well, we've got some exclusive news here on the Edu front from Willie Gunner. What a name! Says Edu has been linked with the Prime Minister's job. So fair play. That's it's good. It's about time his work gets recognised. Your mate Edu is onto big things.
I honestly think that he'll stay. I think he'll
stay. Because they're at the beginning. They're at the beginning of this process still, and what they've done, they've put the groundwork in place. And why would they leave now when the real success is on the way?
Well, Fabrizio Romano said that he understands that Edu's going nowhere. He wants to stay.
You can see he loves the Arsenal.
It's his home.
He's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah. Final super chat from Ben. Thank you so much, by the way, for all your comments, guys. Do hit the like button and make sure you join us for the watch along in a bit. Ben says, considering we lack forwards, seeing Jesus and Eddie both playing is risky. Has the gaffer seen enough of players like Nelson and thought that he can't trust him? I guess we didn't really delve into the whole Nelson Marquinhos thing. I'm sure Turkish will tackle it with everyone on the watch along as well. But, I think this is just a case of whether he rates them or not. Nelson and Marquinhos just aren't where Saka and Jesus are.
No, it's a big game we need to win. And if you can see by that PSV team, they've gone pretty strong as well. Right? And it's a big game we need to win. And let's get the job done. I remember PSV beating us that time. I remember at the Emirates.
That was.
What was that? What was that?
Champions League. We lost 1-0 there. We drew 1-1 at the Emirates.
He ended up
Alex,
last minute header. So let's get the job done, man.
That was painful.
We win this game. The thing is as well, it's keeping on winning, isn't it?
Yeah.
That momentum, you just keep winning it.
Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Big thanks to Robbie, Lee, and Junior. You're all going to the game, aren't you?
Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. And thank you for them. I did see at the beginning when Robbie mentioned it, the messages. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. Let's remind ourselves of the Arsenal team. Turner in goal. Tomiyasu holding, Gabriel and Tierney at the back. Lokonga, Xhaka and Vieira in midfield with Saka, Nketiah and Jesus. Robbie, I'll shake your hand on that. 2 players out each. And looks like you can't split us, just like the debate on Monday night. There's nothing in it. Nothing in it. Go watch that if you haven't, by the way. All right, we're going to leave it there.
Happy birthday to you.
Is that Avengers?
Yes, it's Avengers. Happy birthday, dear Jamie. Happy birthday to you.
Where's the candles?
I thought it would be
candles
Are those the candles? I nearly ended the show, guys. I was so close. Thank you. I've turned 3 today. So thank you, everyone. Avengers, that's quite cool, to be fair. Thank you.
Are you an Avengers fan then?
I'm a big fan of Marvel and Avengers and all that. So this is very thoughtful. He's got a lighter. He's got a lighter, everyone. Always put it out. Always back.
James, how many years of 30?
Oh, thanks. You're spot on.
Apologies,
Is that what we're doing?
We're stream right now, but here we go.
Ruining the stream. They got quite a view, Sess, I think.
There's my backside.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to go enjoy this now.
There you go.
Make a wish.
Make a wish that involves Arsenal.
All right. Okay, I've got a good one. All right.
Make a speech.
Yeah.
Speech as well. Oh, thank you. Tactical speech. Is that catchy? I don't. Well, thank you, everyone. I don't really know what to say. And thank you, everyone in the comment section. I really appreciate it. And yeah, this. By the way, big up to Cecil. It's now 2 years at AFTV, so that's flown by.
Wow.
But yeah. So
2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I came just like the week before my birthday, so
Blimey.
and that's
Bit of cancel redundancy later.
Hold on that email. What's this email from Robbie in accounts? All right, guys. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate that. And guys, if Arsenal win, that's the perfect birthday present. Guys, join us for the watch along in a bit. We'll see you later.